Started.
All right, finally.
Everybody, thanks for joining us. Tonight we have got Jack, aka Jimmy Duke, joining us. Entrepreneur, 17 years old, one of the youngest guys that I know of as an entrepreneur, same age as I was when I started at 17 as well. So we're gonna pick his brain tonight, see what businesses he's involved in, what direction is he's doing with his not just YouTube channel. We're also going to talk about TikTok tonight as well too. He's got a very successful TikTok channel happening there. So we're going to talk. So let's get this started. All right. Thanks a lot for everybody joining us tonight. And throw out any questions that you want to Jack. And yeah, let's get this party started. All right, Jack. So when did you first start as an entrepreneur? And don't say you started when you're 16 because you're only 17 right now. That's pretty cool.
So actually, yeah, of course. So I mean, I've been in the entrepreneur game. I really like to say, when as soon as I could start walking as an entrepreneur, I mean, I was doing everything from lemonade stands, all that kind of stuff in the beginning. But my first kind of real business was when I was not like 10 years old or 12 years old, but actually 6 years old. I opened up my first paper airplanes website where basically I was selling paper airplanes online. It's one of the first websites. I still think one of the few websites to even do this. But basically, we registered the domain name coolpaperplanes.com. I started selling paper airplanes online at $1 each. A lot of the people that bought were family and friends. We sold, I think, like 100 paper airplanes, made $100. My first website, first business, 6 years old, pretty cool. Anyway, you want to give it to the whole timeline?
No, you know what? Why not? We got to get to know you. I mean, it's a great opportunity.
Yeah, I agree. Because you know what? You can't just fast forward to what I'm doing now. You got to like go back and really see how it developed. So 6 years old, did paper airplanes. 8 years old, I did peer-to-peer lending on sites like Prosper and Lending Club, where I said on Travis's channel, we'll see if he's watching this. I basically took a $1,000 loan from my dad at a 1% interest rate. That's what he would be getting in the bank. And then I relent that out on a site called Prosper, where I was making about 7% interest rate, and then split that difference, basically called the spread in lending terms. And then I did that again on a bigger scale with $5,000 with my dad, same thing, paid him 1%, made 7%, and then kept the spread again. That was my kind of first introduction into finance. Approximately at the same time, my stock investment portfolio with my grandfather, set up a Fidelity trading account, started that up when I was 7 or 8. Then let's see what happened next. 10 years old. What did I do? I started kind of like a miniature version of the Young Investors Club, something to be much later grown much later.
Right.
12 years old. I got my first my only vending machine at 12 years old, and was able to basically place that in an office building, and then built basically created a $50 a month business out of that. So every single month from the age of 12 to 15, I was making $50 every single weekend. Took about an hour's worth of work. So getting paid basically $50 an hour to run this business, more than any 12-year-old I knew at the 12 or 13-year-old I knew at the time. Then let's see, really rapid fire here. And we can go back and unpack this. 13 years old, what was I doing? I started 14. When I was 14 years old, freshman year of high school, I started the Young Investors Club, LLC, which started with one member, just me. I was able to grow it to 20 members at the end of that year, with about $21,000 under management, managed by the whole group in the stock market. Then started steadily growing that, grew it to about 30 members the following year. Anyway, then junior year, we were about like 40 members, 43,000 approximately under management. And then junior year, which is also the toughest time when you're a student and you're really studying hard. But the same year I decided, hey, listen, let's see how big I can get this thing. Let's see how big I can blow this up and see if I could turn it into one of the world's leading teen investment clubs. So I put in countless amount of hours. I brought in someone from the group to help me run and facilitate the group, because when we started expanding, basically the way that we would expand is we partnered with a larger organization, a parent network, and we would send out individual emails to each chapter within the network. But in order to get permission from each chapter, I'd have to not cold call, but like warm call. Ripped off your dad, LOL. Because of 1%. That was, by the way, that was higher than banking interest rates at the time. So he was ripping me. I could have gotten a better deal. I could have got capital at a lower price somewhere else. It depends. Maybe I should have gone to my uncle or something. But let's see. So yeah, the Young Investors Club. Then finally, junior year, took the Young Investors Club from 40 members to close to 100 members that year, and took it to over $115,000 under management by teenagers, investors like myself, and we all manage the money collectively. And that basically from my freshman year to my senior year of high school, I've been working on that project. And then finally, the last thing, most recent thing I've done is I started a social media marketing agency. I started that last year when I was 16 years old. Started off with my first client was my local barber, and it was a $50 a month client where basically two free haircuts, one for my friend, one for me. And that was the deal in exchange. Managed social media, did a great job with that. Brought it to the other businesses in town, and then really built out the business kind of off the back of that one small little client. And now it's a successful business today. So that's what I do today.
Holy mackerel. How much time a week do you dedicate to that one?
That's like building the social media marketing agency.
Yeah.
So, I'll just give you an example. Last weekend on Saturday, I spent a lot of time. Let's see. In the morning, it's just constant. I went to go get pizza at my local pizza parlor, and it turned out that some guy walking around in the back. He looked like, it looked like he was like telling people what to do. So he kind of looked like the owner. Of course, I'm like, all right, perfect opportunity. Let's pitch him. So I pitched him, got a meeting with him. Still waiting to see what happens with that meeting. Later that day, went to a location in Scarsdale, which is a town nearby me. Deal I've been having in the works for a month or so now, following up with that guy. And then during nighttime, like 5, 6 o'clock, I went to go pitch. I walked basically a whole block in an area and went to go pitch a bunch of restaurants in that area. So all prospecting, obviously, it makes it seem like obviously I'm maintaining the clients that I already have, but a lot of that maintaining work, there's work that goes into that, but really as a business owner, you're a salesperson first until you reach a certain point in your business. So I have people that work for me that are doing a lot of the fulfillment. My main job is to be a salesperson, make sure client relations are good, and to go out and attract new business. So that's just to give you the example. Last Saturday, I don't know, most kids were doing probably like partying or doing nothing. Most kids are doing nothing. Believe me, I know the truth. They're playing Fortnite. They're not doing anything. Well, they were doing that. I was out hitting door to door, going from one restaurant to another, cold rejection, some warm, some cold. And that's how I've really built my business. And I've really built my business. A big part of it has just been going door to door, different businesses, pitching them, coming in with a good attitude and saying, hey, listen, I can take your social media to the next level. I'd love to set up a meeting. And that's really built a business for me.
Good for you. What are you intending to do? Are you intending to carry that on for how long? What's your exit strategy on it?
Great question. So I definitely plan to continue it to college. One of the great things about a social media business, as opposed to other businesses, is it's not based in a physical location. So I can do almost all the work remote. So I'm going to be in college in Boston next year. And obviously my business is based here in New York, but all the social media, it's all digital. So we could post Instagram posts, Facebook posts, all remotely. In fact, many of my team members are remote. So we already do it remotely right now. So the great thing about the business is I could run it all throughout college. And then, I see myself running the business for now till the foreseeable future, definitely throughout college.
Wow. Impressive. Okay. I'm a restaurant owner. Give me a pitch.
All right. Let's see. Well, let's look at your Instagram. Let's look at your restaurant's Instagram. I like to see a problem and then pitch a solution.
I get 50 hits a month. That's pretty amazing, isn't it?
50 hits a month from what?
From, I don't know, some guy in the back's doing it for me.
Well, what do you mean hits though? Like your website?
I mean people coming to making comments on Facebook and Instagram.
Oh, okay, comments.
They love my place. My business is doing great. So why should I use you?
Awesome. Well, what's the name of your restaurant? Let me look up the social media.
I don't know. We'll make up one then.
I'm
not in it right now. I'm not involved.
This is a fake restaurant.
It's a hypothetical situation.
Oh, okay. I thought you actually own a restaurant. I thought
I have, but not currently. So I just want to hear your pitch.
Okay. So the reason why my agency, or I've just said it's specifically to target restaurants, is because of how, just in general, terrible they are at the marketing, and most importantly, how much marketing can really improve their businesses.
Right.
So with something like a contractor doing social media posts is going to be good, but it's not going to significantly really help their business. That you more want to build out an ad campaign or something like that for them, a funnel. But for the restaurant owner in particular, because you're in the hospitality business, it's really about projecting that hospitality, that customer service, that really good food, because food really sells well on social media. I mean, you could post a picture of a toilet if you're a plumber, and that's only going to get X amount of likes. But if you post a picture of a nice looking steak, one, that does really well on social media, and two, it's going to help build your business because more people are looking at social media, more people are going to follow your Instagram page, more people are going to take a look at your restaurant and come in. So because there's such a great need in the industry, and the industry, I mean, not every restaurant's terrible at it, but because so many restaurants are terrible at it, I have found it's like a great niche there. I could really provide a lot of value, and there's a big problem. So there's a lot of opportunity. So that's the reason why I target the restaurant business. Now, as far as let's say for a restaurant, let's say typical restaurant for us, they got the social media page, Instagram. They posted maybe once a month, or they haven't posted in a really long time, and their Facebook page is sort of inactive too. What we're going to do is basically say, all right, Mr. Restaurant owner, we're going to take your social media and really get it buzzing. We're going to have people commenting, liking, following your page, and really just growing your social media presence throughout the local area. Because the more people that are following on social media throughout the local area, the more is going to eventually translate into foot traffic and more business for your location. So we got to build out your social media. And then we do a number of things from posting multiple times a week. This is one of the things I could talk about. Jimmy's cooking with gas. It's one of the things I could talk about. I actually brought in a part-time or like a contractor photographer to get content from the restaurants that we work with. Because when I originally started the social media marketing agency, I just depended on the business owner to send us all the content. One of the key kind of realizations that I had is that the content that they were sending us, either they wouldn't send it a lot or it was bad quality. And one of the really key things with social media, especially with food, is you got to get a right photo of that food. That photo of the food needs to be high quality. And you can't expect the business owner to be able to send you that picture. I mean, they're really good at a chef, or they're really good at a business owner. They're not going to be an expert photographer. So I brought in a part-time photographer. He takes basically the content for all my restaurant locations or clients, and then he'll send us the content, and then we'll post the content on social media. So we're doing posting, we're doing photography, and then lastly, we're doing social media engagement. So if you have 20 followers on Instagram, just posting a lot of high quality pics, yeah, that'll grow you a little bit organically, but that's not going to do it. What you really got to be doing is following, liking, and commenting on nearby people. So anyone that follows any nearby restaurants, anyone that follows any nearby businesses, you got to go find their social media profiles, comment on them, give them a like, give them a follow, get them to know you exist, and then that really grows the social media page, particularly Instagram for restaurants. So anyway, that's basically like our social media pitch in a nutshell. Obviously, I like to customize it specifically to what the restaurant's currently doing. So I can say, here's what you're currently doing. Here's what we're doing for another restaurant. I mean, when you have a certain point in your business, you could show case studies. Here's what we're doing for another restaurant. We're basically going to do that for you guys. And then, we set up the meeting, and then hopefully we close.
Excellent. Sounds good to me. I'm sold. Done.
Send me a check.
Yeah, sounds great. Sounds great. All right. So why do you do what you're doing? Why are you doing this?
Okay. So
the big why.
Big why is, okay, one, I have a passion for entrepreneurship. So other kids play chess, other kids play basketball, other kids do swimming. They really are passionate about that. I even see kids that are passionate about studying. They study so much, it seems like to me that they enjoy it. And, those things have never really interested me, a lot of those hobbies. My hobby is business. There's not, what I choose to be doing my time when I have free time is working on it, building a business or, running a business. That's what I get the most personal satisfaction from. And that's really what I would say is the inner drive. The money's definitely part of it because obviously, money, who doesn't like money? But I don't think that people do things just for money. I think that they also have to have a certain kind of passion behind it. And building businesses is something I'm really passionate about. And I've always enjoyed doing since I was 6 years old, and I enjoy doing it now. So that's really the driving force behind, why, let's say on Monday's another example. It was President's Day weekend. Not sure what everyone else was doing on Monday. Probably, relaxing, especially at 7 o'clock in the morning. They were probably sleeping. I woke up at 7 o'clock in the morning to be at a networking event at 7:30 to go network with other business owners to try and win some more business for my agency. So, like that's a perfect example right there. You got to really be passionate in order to, on a weekend, that's essentially a 3-day weekend. In order for a weekend day to wake up early, get yourself out of bed, to go drive to a networking event, and then to try and go pitch yourself to other business owners, you got to really be passionate in order to do that and do that on a consistent basis.
Definitely. Sounds like you got a lot of drive.
I hope so.
So what part, you were mentioning that you enjoy creating companies. At what point do you enjoy, like, where do you like letting it go? Or do you like the early stages, creating the systems, creating everything about it, and then passing the baton on to management? Or are you just like, our hands on, wearing all the hats throughout the whole process of growth?
So you can't build a business wearing all the hats, or you can't build a very large business wearing all the hats. You got to have at some point, work. I mean, that's where people come in. People is the way to scale your business. You need to bring on other people, whether you're giving them ownership of your company or you're paying them, in order to really kind of like throw fire on top of your throw wood on top of your fire. So so really, for me as a business owner, I could have chosen a lot of different parts, but the management aspect, a lot of that can be outsourced, and other people can pitch in with that. And really, I mean, almost all parts of the management, from postings, photography, all that kind of stuff in my particular business, can be outsourced. However, the one thing that can't really be outsourced, or outsourced well, is the sales part. So although, sales is kind of like one of the words people hate sales, I've really grown to, I don't know if I'd say I like it, but I do it frequently enough where I've sort of grown like a taste to it, I would say.
Good.
So whatever sales may be, whether it be LinkedIn outreach, cold calling, cold emailing, whatever kind of version of sales, I've really gotten to enjoy the process of it.
So who else does the sales in your business?
No one else. That's the thing. I haven't been able to find someone who's going to be good enough to sell. And, whether it's, I mean, first of all, it's expensive to have a salesperson. So they really got to be bringing in an ROI for your business. And I haven't really been able to find someone else who could be a good enough salesperson where it really makes sense for my business. So now it's just me.
That's tough. But once you do find somebody, treat them like gold, though. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, they can throw fire on top of it.
Yeah, but don't stop looking. They're out there. You just got to find them. It takes time, but you'll definitely find them. That's for sure. What do you enjoy most about being an entrepreneur?
What do I enjoy most about it? Okay, so this is actually an interesting concept, that there's always something to do. So when you're a business owner, your business switch is always on.
Yeah.
When you're an employee, you turn the switch on at 9, you turn the switch off at 5. But when you're a business owner, the business world never ends. I mean, like, look at that networking event. The business world is always churning. The people that were sleeping missed out on that event, and they might have missed out on winning potential business. However, when you're an entrepreneur, there's almost always something to do. So if I'm like bored on a Sunday afternoon, I have nothing to do, I can always work on building and growing my business. So that's really something that I like a lot about being an entrepreneur, that you can basically turn it on at any time and help build your own business and help yourself.
Absolutely. Totally agree with you. Did you have a mentor?
I've had many mentors. I guess it depends on which particular industry. I mean, for the finance industry, I'd say my dad. I mean, he's the one. I mean, obviously, when I was 8 years old, I didn't find out what Prosper was on my own. He kind of explained it to me so that I could learn how to make loans, because making peer-to-peer, screening someone's credit score and looking at their job history, obviously someone needs to teach that to you at first. And my dad he sort of does loans a little bit. Like, that's one aspect of his business. So that was a great kind of learning lesson for him to set me up on that stuff at an early age. So financial, definitely my dad. But as far as what I'm doing now, my family has nothing to do with that. If you tried to, my dad would not be able to run my own business. So who's really taught me about how to run a social media business has been an older friend of mine. He runs a very large agency himself. I actually met him through Instagram DM. So yeah, Instagram DM does work for all the out there. I mean, it's great. So, I mean, I'll show you the story. So he actually, the fidget spinner?
Yep.
So I sold some fidget spinners back in the day, but he was really selling fidget spinners. The way that I got introduced to it is there's an older kid in my school, or my public school, named Alan Maman. he was one of the first people to start selling fidget spinners. He started a company called Fidget 360. He started selling them around the school, $25 a pop. He's making like hundreds of dollars a day. Then he was the first person to really start selling them online. What he would do is he'd pay these big Instagram pages, like $250 for a shout out, plug it back to his Instagram page, and then use that to drive sales to his website. And he partnered up with another kid named Cooper. And all of a sudden, these kids were making thousands of dollars a day selling fidget spinners online. And they were really, some of the first people to really get behind the trend. They really came out in like December, January, February. They were doing this in like October. So they really started early.
Wow.
It's crazy. So they were doing a really good job. Anyway, they ended up making a ton of money. I think they made over $360,000 selling fidget spinners online. Not bad for senior year. I mean, they were my age right now, and I was a freshman, and they were doing this when they were seniors. So that story really inspired me. And I was like, I was researching it. I went to go sell fidget spinners door to door, some local toy stores. So I was capitalizing it off as well. They were selling them online. I was selling, it's so cool. Like, I think I'm not 100% positive, but I'm pretty sure one day, like one kid walked into my school, he was holding a fidget spinner. I'm pretty sure it came from a toy store that I sold to. So it was like, cool seeing that effect.
That's right.
Anyway, so I got into this fidget spinner thing mostly because I saw what he was doing. And then I found some other fidget spinner companies online who were selling fidget spinners, big Instagram pages. One of them was a page called Fidgetly. They were selling a ton of fidget spinners. And I think they ran a slightly bigger business than Maman, his business, Fidget 360. So after I did some research on that, found the owner of that page, send him a DM like, "Hey man, big admirer of what you're doing. Would love to ask you like a question or something." Like, big admirer. And then he responded like, "Yeah, what's up?" Anyway, then talked back and forth within a month. Month went by. I'm like, "Hey, what's up, dude? Love to hop on a call with you." Spoke on the phone. And then we basically ever since then, we became good friends. He came to New York recently, met up with him. And and he runs now he went from building that business, an e-commerce business, to now running ads for other e-commerce businesses. So that's really his niche in the agency world. And he's really been able to build a big agency through that method. Yeah. So he's taught me a ton about the social media marketing game. And I owe a lot of my success to him.
That's really cool. Really cool. So my next question is, it's kind of funny. So everybody watching here, if you guys have any questions for Jack, just throw them out there, please. But my next question is kind of funny. You're only 17, but if you were to give your 15-year-old self some advice, what would it be?
By the way, we got to talk about TikTok.
Yeah, we'll get into that in a bit. But like 2 years ago, you can give yourself advice from your 2 years ago. What would it be?
Good question. It's like, oh, what would you do? What would you tell your 20-year-old self? I'm not even 20 yet.
You're not even 20. I'm 17.
Maybe I should ask what I should tell my future self.
Yeah.
I would say the biggest thing I'd say is like sales. Like, it's totally underrated how relevant and crucial it is to building a business. Any person who's ever built a business, they will tell you it's like so much of it is sales. And you can have the perfect business plan, and you can have the perfect way for fulfillment, and you could have basically the perfect business plan and perfect like way to help customers. But if you can't actually go out there into the marketplace, contact customers, and sell those customers, you're never going to pass $0 in revenue. So sales is an essential skill. As either you learn it and you succeed, or you'll never be, or if you don't, you'll never learn it basically. So sales is kind of one of the big like dividing points between entrepreneurs that succeed and entrepreneurs who don't.
Yeah, definitely. It's a big hurdle for a lot of entrepreneurs to get over, right? If you can't, they have to hire somebody. I mean,
they gotta hire somebody. Man. I would not recommend hiring someone to start. I don't think you should hire someone in the beginning to be your first sales. I think the very first salesperson for you needs to be yourself. Because if you don't know how to sell the product, you're never going to be able to teach anyone else how to sell it.
Absolutely. Nobody's going to be nearly as passionate as you are about your product or service as it is anyways, right? So if you can't sell it, then it's going to be a really tough goal for you to be able to even teach somebody else to sell it too, right?
Exactly.
Why you're agreeing with somebody else. So, hey, we just want to take a quick break here and say, hey, Q, congratulations on being monetized. Woo, congratulations. That's awesome, buddy. Good work, man. Great work.
Awesome.
Jack, you read a lot of books?
Well, I read my own book, The Ultimate Guide to Teenage Investing.
That was my segue into it. Do you happen to you've written your own book?
Yeah. Grab a copy.
Everybody on the stream tonight should get a free copy of it.
You want a free copy?
Everybody on the stream wants a free copy.
I know everyone wanted the whole free copy model. Yeah, we got the books. A lot of books.
Impressive. You are kidding. That's so impressive.
Yeah,
Good for you, man. Good for you.
Fresh off the press. So you can find this by typing in teen investing to Amazon. It's actually the #1 organic search result, which I'm really proud of. I mean, the book didn't exist like a month ago. Now you type in teen investing to Amazon, there's 2 ads that come up, and then it's the #1 organic search result.
Dude, I'm going to put that on my website. I'm going to promote it on my website on the helpfulentrepreneur.channel.com for you.
Thank you.
Put it on the front page. Okay.
Awesome. Appreciate it, man.
That's fun. So, okay. So hang on. What inspired you to write this book, and how long ago did you write it, and how long did it take you to write it?
Sure. So I wrote this book as basically like a manual for everyone in the Young Investors Club. So the Young Investors Club is always something I was planning on doing from my freshman to my senior year. When I was going to college, I wasn't really planning on continuing it because it was meant for high schoolers. So I was figuring to let another high schooler run it to continue running the group. So basically, as I was deciding, now in my senior year, leaving the group, and I wanted to leave the group with something, and I decided to basically write like a little manual on investing that any new member entering the group or old members in the group could sort of use as like learn a baseline knowledge on stock market investing and really how to go about investing now and for the rest of their lives. So that was the original purpose of the book. And then I just figured, hey, wait a minute. I think any teenager could benefit this. So I'm going to open this up to the whole world, where any teenager in the world could get a copy of this book, because it's really going to give them a great education on investing from a teenager who's really been, successful in investing, from investing on my own to building one of the largest teen investment clubs in the country. And I'm, basically managing money for a large part of my life. And through all the lessons I've learned, I basically now want to pass on to other teenagers throughout the world. So that was kind of the reason behind writing the book. The book, as I said, has been really successful. Now, you don't get number 1 organic search result on Amazon without doing anything. There's a lot of other big books before me. In fact, one of them was the Motley Fool Investment Guide, promoted by Fool.com. If any of the investors, you guys all know, Motley Fool is a huge, media network, whatever. So when they're promoting a book, it really gets a lot of traffic. But anyway, their book was outdated. It was written in like 2002. All the companies they mentioned were old. Kids wouldn't really know them today. My book's kind of like a really modern approach on investing, real companies that all kids have heard of, and really gets kids inspired in investing. And we're selling a lot of books on Amazon.
Good for you. Good for you. Do you mind me asking how many copies you've sold already?
So I haven't revealed this number publicly yet, but
okay, don't.
All right. I won't reveal it. We're selling. I mean, I'll tell you this much: there usually hasn't been a day that goes by where we don't get at least one sale.
Good for you, man. Good for you. That's fantastic. Really fantastic. So just, I want to go back to Victor's comment here about sales and whatnot. Victor, great comment. True. For Marie at Minds Motion, but for everybody, sales is a high skill that is minimized in university and whatnot. And it's true. I mean, it's something that maybe should be what do you think, Jack? Being really promoted a bit more at the university level and the business side of things, right?
The reason why they don't promote it as universities, not because they don't think it's important, because they don't know how to teach it. The professor there has never had to sell anything, or it's very unlikely he has. I mean, he's only had to sell his profession to the school and get them to hire him, but that's a totally different. That's not like the real world. I mean, the real world is going out there and selling products to people that had never heard of you before and convincing them to trust you and buy your products.
Yeah,
it's not there's a very, very small chance that the professor in the university has ever done that before, and most importantly, knows how to teach that to others.
Yeah, good point. Really, really good point. So, what investors and what entrepreneurs do you follow on social media right now?
Let's see. So let me think of someone who's like niche, because everyone knows all the big guys. Who's
go for a smaller or mid-size even.
Yeah. I mean, I like everyone in this group. I love Travis. Travis makes funny videos, and I love you as well. But let's see. Let's maybe some of the people with 10K, 100K pages. One of the guys I like, what's his name? I'll look it up right now.
Everybody in our group is pretty amazing.
Yeah, everyone in our group is amazing.
Really a fantastic group.
Because you guys have to be the first people that came off the top of my head. But let's see.
In college. Good points here, guys. Guys, you have any questions for Jack while he's looking up his group? Post them. Let's hear some questions for this guy. You're talking to a 17-year-old entrepreneur. This is amazing. So once in a lifetime opportunity to speak to this guy. So before it goes too big.
Or you could comment on my channel. You could do that either. But
or you can comment. Yep, absolutely.
You can ask now, and I'll answer in real time, and I get to answer verbally.
That's right.
Okay, the guy's name is Ruan. He's a big guy in the SEO space. He's actually a few years older than me. He's like 20 years old, and he actually lives close to me too. I've never met him before, but yeah, he really puts out a lot of cool content for SEO, which is not the space that I'm in, but there's a lot of usually kind of like overlap between sales skills that you can learn for social media marketing and SEO. So yeah, I've enjoyed his content.
Awesome. Awesome. Q's got a question for you. Why the name Jimmy Duke? Is your real name, and then why?
Yeah, my real name is Jimmy Duke. You know, half the time whenever I tell people that name, I'm surprised they don't start bursting out laughing because it seems like such a fake name to me.
Yeah, it's up there.
Jimmy Duke is not my real name. My real name's Jack. I went by Jimmy Duke on YouTube because my dad would not let me create a YouTube channel unless I put it under a different name. So the reason why I'm here today and I'm speaking to all of you is because I decided to put it under a different name. I wouldn't have been able to do it otherwise. So that's why my name is Jimmy Duke. It'll be changed to my real name when I turn 18, which will be in a couple months from
now. That's awesome.
So that's the story.
All right, so Q's got another question. Oh, back to back from Q tonight. Quentin, look out.
Personal projection on millionaire status.
Oh, now we're talking. Now we're cooking with fire.
That's a question. That's a question I want to hear the answer to. I mean, I have no idea. I mean, it's so hard to predict things like that. I mean, rates of growth and you know, you don't know if you're going to grow, if you're going to shrink, you're going to stay the same.
Come on, so what's your pro forma numbers looking like? When time-wise?
All right. I would say I comfortably guess 30. Comfortably guess 30. Hopefully lower.
Hopefully lower. Absolutely. You'll be. I say 25, 24 maybe for you.
One thing about me is I always like to underestimate. I never like to overestimate.
All right, let's talk TikTok. Let's talk TikTok. I understand you know what's going on with TikTok. You're doing extremely well at it right now. You know a whole bunch of TikTok secrets. You're going to let everybody on the stream and watching this afterwards know about right now. Let's talk, Jack. Let's talk about, first of all, your TikTok is Jimmy Duke 1. Yeah. So go over there and check it out and see what's happening with it.
And you can see what I'm doing to get inspired for you guys as well. So let's keep in mind, I was a YouTuber first. I started YouTube like about 4 months ago. You guys saw I was posting YouTube videos. I was doing collabs with you guys. I was on YouTube first. I started off on TikTok with 0 about a month ago now. So I still like to think of myself just as brand new to this as all of you.
How long did you start?
How long did I start? Like about a month ago.
In TikTok.
In TikTok, yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, good.
Yeah. So, post my first video. Now, let's see. So, what I've learned in TikTok videos, listen, whether it's bragging or whatever, it gets videos. Money gets views, 100%. I've tested it. When I post something informational out and don't show money, it gets way less views than where I show money at the beginning, and then I'm like, hey, here's how to get this money. It just for I mean, it makes sense why people watch it, but you got to have a hook that draws people in. So I posted my first video a month ago, got like 900 views. For then, just to understand, like for a lot of the YouTubers, getting 900 views is a big deal on YouTube. Now, obviously, I consider those views on YouTube more valuable. But even still, I mean, I was still like, when I first posted my video, posted it up, didn't know how I was going to do, woke up in the morning, got like a 900 or 1,000 views. I'm like, all right, that's pretty cool. Like, that's way more than any YouTube video on my channel has gotten so far. Right. So, I'm going to continue with this thing. So, posted a couple more videos. One of them was like about how to write books and more videos about how to make money, like how to do an e-commerce arbitrage. That's actually one of my most viewed videos. And we kept doing more videos. Some flopped, some got 500 views. Anyway, then some started getting 10,000, 20,000 views. Some started getting 40,000 views. Some started getting 100,000 views. And actually, my most viewed video got 300,000 views. So, I mean,
in less than a month.
In less than a month.
Is that considered going viral in the TikTok world or what? Holy shit.
I look at some of the videos that come up in my For You page and they have less than 300,000 views. So,
all right.
A lot of people
I gotta figure what's going on here. Holy moly.
Yeah, you gotta see. 300,000. I got 300,000
views. Good for you. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I'm shocked. I'm just as shocked as you are.
Okay, so so Jack, I just posted my first TikTok video an hour and a half ago now, I guess, an hour 34 minutes ago, but who's counting? Like I'm not keeping real track of the time. But you know, should I be up to 100,000 in a month's time too?
I don't know. How many views are you up to right now?
I'm not flinging the bling.
How many views you got right now? 50, 100?
One, me.
Oh boy. All right. I think you're gonna need some coaching. All right, so let me coach you, and then maybe that could help and provide some value for some people.
Do it right now, and everybody else here can learn as well. Let's talk.
Right. Let's pull up. Let me pull up my phone, and then I can pull up with you.
Okay, let's do this. Everybody else watching as well. Everybody, grab your phones. That's Jimmy Duke one first of all. The helpful entrepreneur second with little underscores between the words. But
yeah. So okay, helpful entrepreneur.
Yep. And you're showing the money. That's great. And you're serious. If you're showing the money, you're getting better results on this.
100%.
That's that's amazing. Yeah. Q's got his own channel on TikTok as well. So everybody go check out Q. Makes It Happen on TikTok as well. Victor wants to know how much is your book selling for on Amazon?
$14.99 for the hardcover, and we're running a special promotion. Normally $9.99 for the ebook, but you get it for $7.99 right now because of some kind of promotion Amazon's running. So
beautiful. Beautiful. All right, I'm already following you. There you go. I'm already following you on TikTok.
Oh, awesome. We got a new follower. Okay, you're one of my 2,600 followers.
Holy
and now, as I said, within a month of doing just posting everything you guys saw, no advertising, no, just the videos. Okay,
they're flying, of course, from Dave. Here we go.
What do you got? You got a video. All right. Listen, Rick. Let me give you some critique on this thing.
Absolutely, because right now it's not looking so good. My future on TikTok is looking bleak.
So you're not capturing their attention in the first 3 seconds. You know, when I look at this, I mean, I see. No, I don't want to say. I see an older guy. First 3 seconds, slowly walking back. Not really drawing in my attention. Definitely not like a wad of cash that's going to draw someone's attention.
The first thing you got to do today, Jack. Yeah. Sorry. Okay.
The first thing you got to do is you got to get their attention in the first 3 seconds, whether it's some sort of cash, or some sort of let's say a lot of sales online, or some sort of interesting book, or something that draws their attention. Next. You usually want to keep your videos to the 15 seconds. I've seen some videos that are successful that are 60 seconds long, but normally under 15 seconds, so the little 15-second setting does the best. Number 3, you usually putting in words like you were doing does help, but it's got to be a little better timed. So when I'm watching the music video you got here, it's like a little not perfectly timed. It's got to be better aligned, quicker. The video's got to be tight.
Geez.
Exactly.
Wow.
Number 3, let's see. How many hashtags did you use? Yeah, you used a couple hashtags. You used 5. And
is that okay?
Not exactly the best. You could use more helpful. I mean, helpful entrepreneur. Maybe that.
I got to build that.
Yeah, exactly. Entrepreneurship's good, a very competitive one. But if you look at all my videos, I usually like to try and max out the amount of hashtags I'm using. Let's see.
Which is how many can you use on TikTok?
You can use, I think, depending on the characters. It doesn't go by number.
Okay, got it. How many?
I think it's something like 300 characters. But yeah, you should try and use always to the max of characters.
Yeah. Okay.
So, money, ways to make money online, stocks, time, how to make money, invest, stock market, For You page, tons of different buzzwords that are going to get people's attention for that specific topic. So important hashtags. You want to capture their attention quickly. You want to make sure that everything's timed and tight, and you want to really convey your message in as short a time period as possible. People on TikTok, they have short attention time spans. They're only watching your video for 15 seconds or less. You want to really capture their attention quickly and provide the amount of value that you want to provide to them quickly. So you're sort of just introducing your channel. One really interesting thing to do would be to provide some sort of value. So something about entrepreneurship, some kind of skill you could teach people, condense it into a 15-second lesson, and put it out there on TikTok. That's really a lot of what I've done and allowed me to grow really quickly.
Beautiful. Those would be my upcoming videos. But right now, I just wanted to give that brief overview of what I've done in the past. So, hey, great advice. Thanks a lot. Really do appreciate it, Dave. How can you utilize how can you utilize those 300,000 views? Are you being able to convert any of them to YouTube?
Great. Okay. So yes, some of them have been subscribing to YouTube, no doubt. I mean, obviously the conversion rate's not terrible. I mean, obviously the conversion rate's not amazing. I don't have 2,000 followers on YouTube now that I have 2,000 followers on TikTok. It's usually, I'd say, less. It's a 0.5% conversion rate. It's realistic, what you can expect for subscribers. However, a lot of those people are watching YouTube videos, and I've gotten now 2 emails from people, specifically from TikTok, where they went through the effort to go from TikTok to find my YouTube, go into the About section, and then to find my email address and click on View my email address, and then send me email. I've gotten 2 emails now from people that saw me on TikTok, and they found my email and then emailed me and asked me questions about business or related, basically business.
Good for you. Good for you. That's impressive. That's great. So, okay, and Sherry's got a question here too. Are you getting paid on TikTok?
No, not being monetized at all. I mean, the only way to be monetized right now would be to partner with brands. The only people that really get monetized by TikTok itself are like the big people like Charlie D'Amelio, who has like 16 million followers or 20 million followers, and TikTok actually pays her thousands of dollars per post to post. But that's because she's at like a massive level, and people like her at massive levels where they're really like, moving the platform. People that are smaller, even if you get 300,000 views, which is insane, that's still not enough to get monetized on TikTok.
Wow.
But if I wanted to go the brand, I probably could.
Wow. Okay, so everybody watching right now in the live stream, if you've got a TikTok channel, just post it. Like, make a comment there what your channel is. And then all of us should go around onto TikTok right now, check it out, and I guess it's considered following, obviously. If you feel that's value to you.
Get a little extra follows.
Let's do it. Everybody get a few extra followers there. So everybody post up right now. Post up your TikTok, your channels. Is it called channels? What is it?
Profile? It's called I think it's account. It's like an Instagram account, like a TikTok account.
Elfo.
Oh, maybe I should comment.
Oh, yours in there too. Dave, put yours in. Q makes it happen. Done. Everybody put it in there. Everybody go around. Victor, I don't know if you've got one as well. Marie, do you have one?
Everybody put.
Was that me? Was that you?
No, just because I played the video, so you heard yourself.
Yeah, there's that goofy voice again. I don't sound like that, man. I don't. I tell you right now, I don't sound like that.
Everybody does.
Oh boy! All right. So, what more can you tell us about TikTok and what you've learned about it over the last 30 days, Mr. 300,000 views? That's amazing.
300,000 views, 2,600 followers, almost 30,000 likes. So let me see. Let me find my TikTok. There we go. Yeah. Okay. So what have I learned about it? Well, I mean, basically everything I detailed: hashtags, quick attention, deliver information quickly. Let's see. What else have I gotten? Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much what I learned from it. And I learned that there's a real audience on TikTok. I think it's here for the next year or so. And I think it's the only platform right now where you can get a ton of organic exposure without having any kind of previous following. So on Instagram, in order to go to viral, you usually need a big following. Same with Facebook, same with YouTube. But TikTok's one of the few platforms left where if you deliver value and you create cool enough content, it'll go viral and you can really get famous on TikTok without having a single follower.
Got it. Okay, so when you first posted your first video, how long before you started seeing like a substantial amount of views on it?
So, I mean, overnight, basically, I went from 0, and then I was like, went to sleep. Then I woke up and I got 1,000 views. Believe it or not, I was happy to get that 1,000 views than I was to get the 300,000 views, just because it was so shocked. It was like such a surprise to me. Like, when you wake up and something good happens, like that feel, there's nothing better than that feeling. So I went to sleep. Yeah, I went stay up late making a TikTok video, then woke up the next morning and I get it gets 900 views, it gets likes, it gets comments. Like, all right, this is pretty cool. Let me post some more videos. So anyway, then over time, start posting some more videos. Looking back, my first video didn't really pick up until my 5th video. So just encouragement for all you guys out there to not give up after the first video, but create enough content where you can see what's really working. And the first video was sure enough one where I showed a lot of money in the beginning. And then said, here's how to make money online here's how to make $1,000 a month. And I gave a method, I think, through social media marketing, which is what I'm doing now. And
wow.
And yeah, that's pretty much my first video to go viral.
That's crazy. Good for you. Good for you. So what's the bigger picture of TikTok for you? Like, what's your bigger plan on it?
The bigger picture is I think that I just want to convert as many people as I can from my TikTok to my YouTube. I already tried doing something at the end, and this is a little extra tip that I'm still experimenting with, but you guys could check out as well, is at the end of my last TikTok video, it didn't get that many views, but I put, check out my YouTube channel, Jimmy Duke, to learn more. And I picked up like 4 or 5 subscribers the next day. And
Really?
we got like 100 or 200 views at that point. So it kind of really made me realize that, okay, maybe the engagement goes down a little bit because people don't like to see you pitching yourself at the end, but the conversion rate for your YouTube channel goes way up. So something you guys could consider is like at the very end of your TikTok video or whatever, saying, hey, follow me on Instagram or follow me on my YouTube to learn more about me.
Yeah. Great idea. Really good idea. And you're keeping yours to only 15 seconds, right?
Yeah, so you got to deliver that message quickly, and if you don't give them some sort of buy-in, they're not going to ever find your video again.
Yeah, very smart. Really, really smart. Interesting. All right, good to hear, Jack. Getting back to your business, how do you plan on growing your company?
All right, so I mean, sales obviously is going to be how you're going to grow the company.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you're kind of hurdle right now trying to find a good salesperson too.
Yeah, I mean, finding a good salesperson is something I've been looking for recently. It's tough to find someone who's going to stay committed. Sales it's not a normal job. There's more emotions involved. There's more the hours. It's not the same hour. Like spending an hour making cold calls versus spending an hour doing quiet work where you're just typing on a computer is a different sort of thing. So finding the right person who's really going to be able to sit there and put in the hours, make those cold calls and really, hustle and close business deals is a tough thing to find. I think you're right. I think there's definitely one out there, but I haven't found it yet.
Yeah. So, okay. So again, what was your plan on growing?
Oh yeah, that's right.
I know. Side as a sales guy for Jack.
Yeah, I agree. So someone knows any sales guys that are good.
Yeah. Anybody know any salespeople that are great? Have them get in contact with Jack. Okay, guys.
Exactly. So let's see. One thing that I'm working on right now, LinkedIn. I have gotten business from LinkedIn before, but I gotta perfect that. I think there's a lot more opportunity there that I could be getting on LinkedIn that I'm not. So that's definitely something for the future. Building out a really cool cold outreach and warm inbound lead, response on LinkedIn, as well as Upwork. I haven't quite mastered that platform yet. I've been looking at another guy similar to me who's been using Upwork to close deals. I've been seeing closed deals. And I think that Upwork has a lot of opportunity. It's not totally aligned with what my agency mostly does. Mostly what we do is the content management side, not so much the ads. We do a little bit of the ads, but we've mostly been doing content management recently. Right. So we'd have to get more into that kind of different space and then sell ourselves on these different platforms. But definitely something we would do. And then lastly, I also want to get into a little more mentoring. Like, I've had other kids reach out to me. I've done paid mentoring for kids and adults. And it's a really cool thing. It's another business for me. And it's also another way to really help people that are like following my personal brand. It's like a way to really build up my personal brand, because obviously if you start building a business out of your personal brand, you can start to grow your channels and you can start to build your online following and you could really start to grow your persona.
Absolutely. Upwork is amazing. I've been using it for years.
So are you the hiring? I use it for the hiring side. What are you using it for?
I use it for almost everything in my business. Anything, again, I did that one video a while ago. If I don't need a physical presence close by me, then I will outsource it through Upwork.
Same. Yeah, I've used, I think in the last month, I've hired a lot of people.
Yeah.
For small little one-off jobs or ongoing stuff. But yeah, Upwork has been great for me.
Yeah.
What kind of business are you in again?
I
believed you when you said you're a restaurant. What do you do?
Real estate, lead generating for U.S. corps. I do a bunch of the different little businesses.
So the main thing is real estate agent?
Real estate investing.
Oh, real estate investing. Sorry. Wholesale?
Yeah.
God, what?
We're bouncing back and forth on all this.
Okay. Is it wholesale?
Okay, hey guys, you go first.
All right. Is it wholesaling or what?
For what, real estate?
Yeah.
No, it's all purchased properties for long-term and short-term rentals, raw land as well in Mexico and Canada.
Okay, got it. So like invest, you're not selling anything.
That's got nothing to do with like how I use VAs. I would use VAs for mostly for my environmental toner brokers. I used it for leap leads as well. But I mean, the sales side, so getting back to the sales, because that seems to be like your stumbling block, it is really tough. And I'll agree with you to find a really great person that can, that can do sales for you, but it can be done. And I've done it on Upwork. And that was the hardest one to find, is a team of people that can actually do sales for you when they don't have this, they're not able to actually go out and see a client, right? They're actually just only making phone work.
Exactly. I mean, I've closed clients over the phone before, but definitely a lot harder to close them over the phone than in person.
Yes.
So finding someone who can close them over the phone, who could make phone calls, and then I'll also close them over the phone is gonna be a tough thing, especially on Upwork, because it's like, I found list building for leads is no problem. I can get Upwork people to do that easily, but then I got to go in and call all of them, which is not like, that's not closing the sale by any means. I mean, just finding a bunch of restaurants by going to Google Maps is not really, building my business. Really, people that can make those calls and get those, even, warm introduction meetings would be a big step forward. But yeah,
that's so easy to do on Upwork. That's so easy to do on Upwork. It is. Yeah. It really is. I've got scripts and emails all for that to really warm up the lead and to take them to the point of view being closed. But if you want to go and do the final closing, that could be left to you. So you just you don't have to do any of the cold calling, any of the warming up, nothing. You just go in there.
That's what I need. I need someone who's on Upwork all day long, just making cool. They're making cold calls. They're sending out cold emails.
Absolutely. That's exactly what I have teams doing. And it works.
I get that. You got to
okay. We'll talk about that later on. But yeah, I can definitely help you on that for sure, Jack, for sure. So, okay, we got some comments here. Down the rabbit hole, travel. Thanks for joining us tonight. And hang on. Let's see. What's this? Q. Have you ever seen The Social Network?
Yeah. I have seen The Social Network. It's a great movie. One of my top 5 entrepreneurship movies. In fact, on my TikTok, I made top 5 movies for every entrepreneur, and The Social Network was one of them, I think. I just make books or movies. Anyway, I did one of those too. The Social Network will definitely be one of my top 5 favorite movies. That one, along with The Founder, an amazing movie. Have you seen that movie? That movie's talk about sales. Ray Kroc is a salesman. One of my favorite scenes from that movie is when he goes around to all the different, he's signing up different franchisees, and he's just going speech after speech, business city after city, signing up franchisees and really building McDonald's into what is now known as today. Great movie. Social Network's great movie. Not like Zuckerberg's attitude, though. I think everyone can agree he was a little bit of not a nice guy. But he was able to really build a significant business. So I'm a big admirer of him as well.
Absolutely. So give me a couple of examples of some mistakes that you've made that you wish you could have avoided.
Okay. So one of the first mistakes I made, this kind of goes back to something earlier I mentioned, is, I'm in the content restaurant marketing business. So relying on restaurant owners to send me the content, that was a big breakdown, because, a lot of times when someone hires you to do a service, they don't really want to also have to do work for the service as well. They kind of want like a full custom, I'll pay you the money, you just go take care of everything.
Yeah.
So, and that was one of the big breakdowns. I kind of started 2 social media marketing agencies. My first one, which kind of ended up being not a failure, but it didn't really pan out the way I hoped it would. And then I kind of relaunched that into my second one. I basically picked up all the lessons that I learned from the first one and made my second one. And one of the biggest lessons I learned for why clients were leaving us, or just why it was just kind of not a great dynamic, because we'd have to send them an email and then they wouldn't respond. We had to keep following up just to get content from them, just to do our job. So one of the biggest things I learned is, don't rely on the client to send content. Send in your own team member or our own photographer in this case. That was one big mistake, a big lesson I learned. See, another big lesson I learned is don't go into business with friends. My dad told me, before this day before I went into business with my friend, who's a good friend of mine. He's still a good friend of mine. And he said, don't go into business with friends, because there's always going to be problems in business. And when you're just business partners, you can leave the business relationship and everything's fine. But when you're friends and business partners, which seems really cool at first, everyone has to agree. It seems so cool, especially if you build a big business. You got this big business, you're running it alongside your friend. You guys are having a great time every single day. You're so happy. Exactly. You're so happy to go to work, to see each other. You're working alongside each other. You completely trust each other. You guys are the perfect partners. That's what you see as the ideal version. But what ends up happening is you don't realize the nitty gritty. Let's say someone makes a mistake. Let's say someone's working harder than the other person. Let's say someone's closing more business. Let's say someone has to keep asking the other person to do something. Let's say that, I don't know, one client's getting mad, mad at one partner, then they start to cause tension. All these things are just so many different potential problems for problems in business. So that's one of the biggest lessons I learned, and I think I won't make that mistake again. So those have been my two biggest lessons. One specific to my business, and one just in general to all businesses.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Don't get into friendship, business with friends and whatnot. Don't ruin the friendship, potential friendship, right? I mean, potentially. So, do you feel that you're different in business than you are, day to day? Like if you're to get, with a business partner, you get into business with a business partner. Do you feel like you're slightly different than who you really are?
Good question. I mean, like when you're, can you elaborate a little more? Like, you mean when you're talking to your partner versus when you're talking?
Yeah, like, right. Okay, I'll give you an example. Right now, I'm very relaxed and whatnot, but I've got a lot of drive. I got a lot of energy and a lot of drive. And when it comes to business, I am like, let's go. I have fun and I really enjoy doing it, but I got so much go and drive and hustle that I know I'm very different than I am right now. Put it that way. Like I'm literally running around my place some days, bouncing from company to company and just getting things done and whatnot. And anybody that any of my business partners, at times you guys stay away because I'm just like pew 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 pew. So I know how different I can be when it is involved. Are you the same way or similar like that?
So, I mean, yeah, I would definitely say like when in a sales environment or when it really, is business. I mean, thing is you run a business with partners and stuff. I don't have a partner right now. So it's kind of like all internal, I guess you can call it. Like obviously when you're running the business, selling right next to someone else, then the environment could be different because you're sort of building each other up. But when you're doing kind of internally, you're sort of on your own. Like when you work into a restaurant and they don't know you and you don't know them, you're totally on your own. Just you're there to sell yourself and sell your services, and got to present a good image to that business owner. So, and in that situation, I'd say my personality does change. I'm definitely, I mean, I'm a lot more driven than I am, when I'm just hanging out with some friends and we're just watching a movie or doing something fun. Obviously, it's a totally different dynamic, a different attitude.
It's totally different at that point. It's very more personal, right? So
much more personal and a much more comfortable environment. Like when I'm with my friends, I don't really selling, although I somewhat enjoy it. It's also like a little uncomfortable. Like you got to go and talk to this person you never talked to before and convince them that you're a good fit for them versus your friends. I mean, I got nothing to sell them. I mean, I'm just there to hang out with them. So I think because of that, your personality can be a little bit different.
Absolutely. All right. All good, Scott. Great question for you. Obviously you just gave me a great compliment. You have a great attitude and energy, but do you ever feel discouraged? If you do, how do you deal with it?
Let me think. So obviously I feel discouraged sometimes, especially like when we lose out on business for something, especially when I know I could have really helped and we lose out in any way for some stupid reason. Like, like let's say, I don't know, the owner's cousin is going to do it because they're going to help them. Because,
you get that one. I got a relative that's going to do it for me.
You get that one. You get all kinds of excuses like that. Yeah. So things like that definitely do discourage me. And how I move them is, I mean, it's you can't really let yourself get past them because you got to always look back and reflect on like what you did wrong, how you could have built up, how you could have done better in the past situation. So I mean, I guess I don't really like forget about them, but you just gotta keep running your business. You gotta keep running your business, keep doing the management, keep doing everything else that you're doing, and not really let it stop you from what you were planning on doing. That's the key.
Yeah. You just got to accept it. It's all part of the process, right? You're going to get discouraged. You're going to get the no's a lot, but that every no, as they say, is like one step closer to that yes, right? So it's just that mental tough mindset that you've got to have to keep going on. So Sherry's asking, who published your book?
Self-published. So I sent out this is the same go-getter spirit that you have. I sent out to 164 book agents because the way that the book publishing process works, you got to have a literary agent represent you, and then they take your book to the publishers. So I sent it out to 164 book agents. Most of them didn't respond. Got like 50 email rejections and no's, and then 3 of them agreed to have a phone call with me, and then all 3 of those rejected me. These are book literary agents, not publishers. So it's not the exact same thing. But anyway, so I wasn't able to tap into the traditional publishing sense of the book. So I'm like, all right, whatever. I'll just self-publish it myself. Sure enough, self-publish it on Amazon, which is not that complicated to do. It sets you up with the ISBN number, all that kind of book informational stuff. And yeah, the book's doing great. We first promoted to family and friends, and they put in a lot of the good reviews and stuff. And then with all those good reviews, the book is now selling organically on Amazon. As I said, it's the number one thing that comes up when you search in teen investing. So that means now, like a teenager, you think about it now, like let's say a mom who's looking for a book for a teenager, a good search term she's going to type in is teenage investing under books. And my book will come up number one in organic search results. So
it's amazing. I mean, good for you, man. That's so, it's great.
So basically, my short answer to that is, basically I went around the whole traditional publishing process, self-published. And I think now the book's probably doing even better than it would have if I published with a publisher, and I get to keep all the money because it's self-published. So it's even better.
Absolutely. How long have you had it out there for now?
I've had it up, I want to say, since mid-December.
Wow.
Yeah. Short time period, very short time period. And it's gone from, as I said, I mean, when I first typed in teen investing just to see what the competition was, all these other books showed up. Now my book shows up there.
That's amazing. And again, I'm going to put it on my homepage, so the helpfulentrepreneur.com tomorrow morning for you. So I'll promote it that way as well. So do you find that you have any issues with lack of respect because of your age? Like, do people take you seriously when you're walking into these restaurants to do a pitch on them?
Great question. So I get this question a lot, and it's usually by teenagers who are looking for reasons for why they shouldn't go into business. It's kind of, it's like a natural, because people are always looking for a reason just to like give up on it, or just to say like, this doesn't work because of this. So one of the questions I get all the time is like, doesn't your age hurt you? And shouldn't I wait to do this when I'm older, or something along those lines? And actually, age does the opposite for me. Age not only doesn't hurt me, but age helps me, because adults know, especially 50-plus-year-old business owners know, that teenagers are the people that understand social media better than anyone nowadays. They grew up on social media. So if anyone's going to understand it, it's them. And not so much as like a 30-year-old advertising agency exec who basically started social media the same time I did. And they probably started much later than me, because while I was like a kid using it, they weren't even getting familiar with it. They're only familiar with it relatively recently. So one thing people are always concerned about is experience. And because social media is so relatively new, I've had almost as much experience. I've had experience since the beginning of social media because I've been growing up on it. So so not only does being a teenager not hurt you in my business, I mean, obviously, if I was like an accountant, I think it would have more of an impact because they're really looking for experience there. I can't try and argue accounting hasn't been around since before I was alive. But social media hasn't. Social media has been around since I've been alive. And because of that, my particular industry, it's actually helped me.
Good for you. Great answer. Q, once again, how many of your peers think the way that you do?
I like to think that I do. I mean, there's some that think similar to me. Like for example, my business partner, he was interested in like business and stuff from a young age. But even me and him, we still differ a little bit in some aspects of business and investing. But yeah, I mean, very few of my peers think this way. A lot of the kids at the Young Investors Club, they do have a similar kind of mentality when it comes to investing. They have their own investment portfolios. They're interested in it. But as far as like the business side, not really as much kids I see out there that are really building businesses. And I mean, really building businesses that are producing like revenue and stuff, because a lot of kids can say they're a business owner. But if you're only making a couple dollars or $10 or $100, like, you're a business owner, but you're more of a hobbyist at that point. There's very few kids that have really been able to build businesses, especially in my local area.
You seem so successful for like such a young guy. Good for you. Like, seriously, I mean, you're dabbling in so much. So what habits do you credit towards, like habits that you've got that credit you for you being so successful at such a young age?
Well, by the way, speaking of that, successful for age, I really, just personally, the way that I think about it, the way that I look at it, is I don't like to compare myself to other people my age, because I feel like you're comparing yourself, selling yourself short. Most kids my age are not going out there and selling to restaurants on like middays on Saturday. They're just not. So why should I bother comparing myself to them? It's like, it's like, I'm trying to think of it. It's comparing yourself to people that aren't as motivated to you. So why should you do that? So.
Oh, he's frozen up, everybody. Unless he's falling asleep. Actually, I think he's falling asleep. Jack, wake up. He's falling asleep. All right. So, oh, here he is. He's back. You had a little siesta. You okay?
Yeah.
You got a little tired.
So what was I saying? Yeah, so I really like to compare myself to people that are much more successful than me. And yeah, like my mentor, for example, is 26 years old. He runs a really large agency. I compare myself to him. I compare myself to other business owners who are successful in like their mid-20s. And that's really who I look at as like my kind of sphere. So yeah, that's kind of how I look at it.
Good. All right. So
I hate on you for no reason. Yeah, great question. So let's see. I mean, it depends who. First of all, if you look at my TikTok, check out the comments on my TikTok. Look how much I've grown. TikTok is the biggest platform of haters I've ever seen. There are more haters on TikTok than I think there are any other platform. You know, it's so funny. Like the comments are like, oh, I made a video of like, if you invested in Amazon if you put $1,000 in Amazon in 1998, it'd be worth like 1.3 million today.
Okay.
And people, and then, you know, 300,000 views. So obviously it resonates with a ton of people. But a lot of times the people that comment are always like the people that have like the hate sort of vibe, like, oh, you know, why am I not doing this basically? So like one of them with the most like comment is like this is not practical or something like, or something like, you know, people will just kind of look for any way to try and, to try and explain to themselves why they're not, you know, why they didn't make that 1.3 million or, you know, something along those lines. So yeah, the haters on TikTok, definitely. In real life, it's not as much. I mean, I don't talk about what I'm doing as much to most people. Like most people don't know about the various businesses and stuff I run. They know I'm an entrepreneur, but they don't know really all about me too much.
Right.
And I think if they did, there'd be like a lot more hate as far as like, as I said, hate really, a lot of it comes from jealousy. When other teenagers are studying, they're putting in the hours, but they're not really like getting any financial rewards or anything. They're just getting grades, and they see me getting financial rewards. They're going to look for some sort of excuse to try and justify to themselves how come they're not being a successful teenager. They look at what I have, they want it, and they got to come up with some reason why they don't have it. So they'll be like, oh, I don't even know what kind of hate they'll come up with, but I'm sure they would come up with hate just sort of as a rationalization for why they're not doing anything. And it's really kind of, hate is more of like an internal sort of thing than really projecting it on the person who you're hating on.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. As an entrepreneur, what are some of your strengths and what are some of your weaknesses too?
Strengths and weaknesses. Strengths are, I'd say,
sales.
No, I was going to say that's a weakness, actually. Because I feel like, I mean, if I was a great salesperson, I'd be making millions of dollars a year. I mean, if I was really great, so I'd say, I wish I could improve tremendously there. I'd say like a strength is something like, I think for my age, I'm a little more focused than most. That's one big thing I'd say. Like, it's very easy to get distracted with a lot of the kids, that's ways that teenagers distract themselves. And don't get me wrong. I mean, I watch Netflix and YouTube and all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
I definitely get my fair share of wasted time. But I have been able to, especially for a teenager, really been able to like block that stuff out for periods of time and really focus on building a business. That's definitely one of my strengths. And one of my weaknesses is, I mean, I definitely say, I mean, there's like specific areas, like finding the right salesperson at the moment. I'm really looking for that. And I just feel like sales is something like you could be improved on tremendously. I mean, like, you know, the real best guys, the best salespeople in the agency world are doing millions of dollars a year. And I mean, if I was half as good as them, I'd be making 500,000 or something. So definitely feel like I could improve a lot there. But I wouldn't really say that's my biggest weakness. I'd say the biggest weakness is probably,
you can say pass if you want.
It's like a cop out to me. I don't want to cop out. I'd say like really finding the right salesperson for my team has really been like a weakness. You know,
no, that's a challenge. I mean, you're embarking upon it. Just keep going, man. You'll find somebody. You just got to keep persevering. You'll find it. It took me a long time, especially on Upwork, to find the right team. So it'll take you a long time too. But again, I mean, later on, I could talk to you about this if you really want to, and can really probably hopefully speed up the process for you.
Yeah.
And you're the right person. I mean, if you find that that's a bit of a thorn in your side right now, I can definitely help you out on that. So
yeah, I mean, that's definitely a thorn. I mean, I can't really think of a ton of weaknesses. I mean, but I feel like that and sometimes thinking like too small. Like, I mean, there's been examples of times that I could have charged a client more, but I wasn't like, you're not confident enough in yourself, especially when you're first starting out, to really ask for like the bigger bucks. And if I had been doing that, I'd be running a bigger business today. So
you're saying you're going to think, you might as well think big, right? So
that's right.
All right. Sherry's got your next question. How do you start your day?
Start my day so it depends. For a long time, school is another aspect of this. I mean, I go to school almost as long as most people work. It's almost like my job.
And you go to school. It's all spoken to about you being even a student yet. This is crazy.
I know. That's what's so crazy. So, I mean, especially in junior year, and I'm not just a student. I don't want to pat myself on the back too much, but I'm not a terrible student. I mean, I got on my SATs. I've gotten good grades in school, and that's no easy thing either. I mean, a lot of kids just if they're going to focus on something, they just focus on doing well in school, and that's its own whole project. So, especially last year, I really started off my day by focusing on my day job of going to school. That was kind of like my day job. So before I check any emails in the morning, I'd always basically just go to school, get my hard classes out of the way, like throughout the morning. Usually they were in the morning. And then as soon as I was done with all my hard classes, as soon as I was done with all the schoolwork that I had to get out of the way, then I would open up my business email, and I would try and like wait off to looking at my business till as late as possible. That way I could kind of separate the two things, because I found that I was actually more efficient when I was able to separate off school and business. So I basically take the beginning, or however long school is that way, focus entirely on my classes, focus on studying, learning the material I needed to learn. And then as soon as school is over, then the switch turns the other way, look at my business emails, make some calls that I had to make, or do whatever I needed to do to maintain and grow my business. So that's definitely how I start off my day, actually by school. And that's pretty much still what I do today, relatively what I do today.
Good. So being an entrepreneur, you know that failure is part of the process, and it's inevitable that's going to happen at one point or another. Have you experienced failures a few times already?
Oh yeah.
And how'd you deal with it?
Let's see. Let's see. What were some? Oh, I know. Well, this is a failure that I also talked about on Travis' channel, but I'll bring it up again. So I started an invention like a couple of years ago. It's called the Aqua Pocket. Now, this is a great example. The idea was a great example. Just the execution, which is really the whole thing that makes the idea great or not, it could have been much better. So I basically had the idea to come up with a bathing suit with a waterproof pocket. Ingenious idea. Every single time you go to a water park, you go to the beach, you go to the pool, you don't know where to keep your phone, you don't know where to keep it safe. You can't just put it under a towel because it might get stolen, and you want to keep it with you. So waterproof pocket was an ingenious idea. Not just your phone, but your car keys, whatever.
Right.
Wallet. So I had this idea, hired an invention company to kind of build out the idea. And if you don't know about these invention companies, a lot of them, I don't want to call them scams, but they definitely charge a lot more than the value they provide. Many, many times more. Yeah. So I hired one of these. They promised all these things, like they were going to get me distributors and stores, and they were going to get me licensing deals and all this kind of stuff. And really, they came out unsuccessful. They were able to build out a prototype, but they weren't able to really sell the product to the market. And that's one of the key things where I learned about sales and how crucial it was. And that if I was going to ever start a business again, or start any kind of income stream again, I was going to have to be the one selling. I was relying on them to do the hard work and the heavy lifting when I should have been relying upon myself.
Right.
So, that was one of my failures.
So they only took you so far, and it basically, passed the baton on to, I guess, yourself almost.
They took the idea that was in my head and built it out into a product, but they couldn't move the product. I mean, having an invention and being able to sell the invention are two totally different things. And that's why a lot of times you see the people that actually have the invention don't make the most money. It's the people that could sell the invention the best.
Absolutely.
For example, Ray Kroc of McDonald's.
Yeah. Absolutely.
He did not come up with the ingenious idea of McDonald's 30-second hamburger, cheap and efficient. was totally not his idea. It was the McDonald's brothers. However, he was able to sell their idea 100 times better than they ever could. He saw the vision. He was able to execute on that vision. He went all around the country building out franchise stores. He got the real estate, which, as the movie ultimately says, he was buying the real estate underneath. So he's actually making a ton of money from the real estate empire he's building McDonald's. Yeah. But yeah, he was the salesman behind that business, and because of that, McDonald's brothers ended up walking away with $1 million, and he ended up walking away with billions.
Yeah, yeah. Execution is key. Execution is key. It's so true. So, all right, let's go for another 5 minutes. It's quarter after. We've been doing this now for 75 minutes. I love it. Yeah, it was been going by fast. So let's do another 5 or 10 minutes max. So if anybody's got any more questions, throw them out, please. I got a couple more here for you, and then we're just going to slowly wrap it up. So with your business right now, Jack, what risks are you facing? Apart from, I'll let you answer that. I'll answer for you.
What risks are we facing? I mean, we're really facing. I mean, there's every single business always has risks at any time. I mean, there's not like, especially mine. I feel like we're not really in the risk. We're not really an industry that's being disrupted. We're more of the disruptor. Traditional advertising has been direct mail for many, many years, like decades. And now digital marketing is really coming to take over that space. And every single year you see more and more ad dollars going from traditional marketing methods like direct mail to online marketing methods like digital. So I don't really see like a big risk to the whole industry as a whole. Really?
Do you feel that direct mailing is on the decline?
Yes. I think it is on the decline. I'm told that less and less people are actually opening the envelopes. Like there's like, let's see. Yeah. I mean, like Bed Bath & Beyond. I mean, they send out direct mail. So companies still send out direct mail. It's still definitely a huge business, but it's now making up, and same with print, by the way, what people advertise in newspapers. Yeah. It's becoming less and less. I mean, I've read studies. There's just studies that track this kind of stuff. And every single year it's less and less is going to print and more is going to digital. So,
yeah. Yeah. Hugh's got a question for you. Where are you from?
I am from New York, Westchester County, New York.
Wow. Yeah, right. Nice area. Haven't been there by
Yeah. It's nice area. Okay. 40 minutes from Manhattan, so I love going to the city. The city is one of my favorite places to be.
Oh, that's cool. That's really, really cool. So why will customers stay and do repeat business with you?
So, I mean, all of our businesses, we like to sell repeat business. We don't like so much one-time business. Why would they stay? I mean, basically because we provide a great service at a great price. I mean, that's as simple as it is. One of the things we did in the marketing space near me is a lot of the big companies, agencies near me, charging for the value. I mean, obviously we have higher ticket services as well, but for the product they were charging thousands of dollars, totally overpriced, and providing less value than we provide for 1/2 or 1/4 the cost. And we're doing a lot of the engagement kind of stuff on social media that they're just not doing. So they may be posting pictures on the social media page, but they're not growing the social media page. We're doing both.
Nice.
So so I think that was the answer to your question.
Yeah, that was good. Great answer. Let's switch over to YouTube for a second. What are your plans for growing your YouTube channel?
So let's see. We started 4 months ago, but I didn't really get serious until like 2-3 months ago. Went from 0 to 150 subscribers. The plans for growing the YouTube channel has always been 1,000. That's goal. That has been the goal. Get 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. I feel like that's the milestone where if you pass 1,000, you go from like, I mean, listen, I don't want to insult all those creators on YouTube, but like, I mean, I'm one of them too. So I feel like, I can sort of insult myself a little bit. I feel like until you get to 1,000, you're not really like a real respected YouTuber. You got to pass 1,000, and then people will be like, okay, you got a real following on YouTube. You can monetize your channel, do all kinds of sales things. So I think for me and a lot of other people, the goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers. And that really kind of officiates you on YouTube.
Yeah. So that's your first goal. What's your bigger goal after that then? Once you get monetized, what after that?
Bigger goal after 1,000 would probably be really, as I said, building out like a whole education kind of thing. Not sure what my niche is going to be. I mean, obviously there's all those like gurus and stuff out there, which I totally don't believe in. But I think that there's also a lot of room where, I mean, I've just had people ready to reach out to me and say, hey, Jack, can you help me? Hey, Jack, can you help me? So I think that with building a personal brand, there's a lot of like coaching / like information selling that you can do through building a personal brand. I think that'd be the next step after I hit that goal.
You'll do a great job. You'll have no problems growing up your personal brand. No worries whatsoever.
Like, thank you. Yeah, I pitch an interesting perspective, so I think people will like that.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I have some ideas already in the back of my head, but they'll definitely be coming out once I build out my channel bigger.
Nice. Good for you, man. Good for you. Well, listen, it's been a lot of fun talking to you tonight. Like, holy mackerel, at such a young age, you already know you got your head on your shoulders really well. I mean, it's really really cool. Really great to experience. Listen to your experiences already only at 17. That's amazing. So good for you. So if anybody doesn't have any other questions, I say 17 years old, man, you gotta get to bed. You got school tomorrow.
That's right.
I
promised I was going to do this thing, and as I said, I was going to knock it out with you. So I'm awesome. Hope you provided a ton of value to the listeners. As you can see in the description, my channel is Jimmy Duke, so you can find me there.
Yeah,
my book, etc. So, anyways, yeah, it was really great. Thanks for having me on. Really enjoyed talking to you as well. As you can tell, I mean, this is not fake energy. This is real energy. I really enjoyed doing this thing with you, and yeah, I can't wait to speak to you soon.
Absolutely, buddy. Absolutely. Sherry, thanks a lot. And everybody else that joined us tonight, thanks a lot for joining us, guys. It's been a lot of fun, as always. That was a fast hour and 20 minutes. Wow. All right, guys. See you guys next week. Have a great week, everybody.
See ya.